see high, wispy clouds on a sunny day, but heavy grey clouds often bring rain. Rain may be wet, but it's very important. Without it, we'd have nothing to drink. Rain falls whenever droplets inside the clouds join together and become too heavy to float. As they fall to the ground, they keep on joining up with other droplets, getting bigger and bigger. By the time they hit you, they're wet. Rain does not fall evenly around the world. Hot deserts have very little rain because the sun's heat is too strong here for clouds to form. So it might be raining in Woodhurst, but it doesn't mean that it's raining in Africa. So the rain will come and go. It's not always at the same time. Snow. Like rain, snow comes from the water droplets and ice crystals inside of a cloud. When it's very cold, the water droplets inside a cloud freeze onto the ice crystals. This makes the crystals bigger and heavier. They begin to join together, making flakes of snow. Big snowflakes are too heavy to float and they fall from the cloud. If the air is freezing cold all the way down to the ground, then we have snow. If it's not, the falling snowflakes melt and we have rain. Wind. These people are windsurfing. Wind is moving air. You can't see the wind, but you can feel it on your face, and you can see how it makes the trees sway. Sometimes the air moves slowly as a gentle breeze, but sometimes it moves fast as a strong wind. Strong winds are powerful. They can damage houses and uproot trees. A wind is often called after the direction it's blowing from. A wind blowing from the north is called a north wind. Wind can bring hot or cold air from other places. Hurricanes. Hurricanes are terrible storms with very strong winds. They are sometimes called cyclones or typhoons, and they usually start over warm tropical seas. Hurricanes begin when rising air starts to spin above the sea and getting faster and faster, and it turns into an ice cream cone shape. On the outside of the cone, the winds blow at over 300 kilometers an hour, but in the middle of the cone, the air is perfectly still. Hurricane winds can flatten buildings and fling cars across the road. We're very lucky. We don't usually get hurricanes in England, but they do happen elsewhere in the world. They're very dangerous. The foods we eat. Think of all the plants we eat. Rice, wheat, fruit, vegetables. Without the rain and sun, they simply wouldn't grow. Different plants have different needs. Without the right weather, some plants wither and die. Orange trees need a lot of hot sunshine. Rice plants need rain, and they like to stand in water. We depend on the weather for our food. If there is too little rain, plants don't grow. This is one reason why many people in the world are hungry. The clothes we wear. How do you choose which clothes to wear in the morning? People who live in countries with very settled weather wear similar clothes every day. In the warmest parts of the world, people wear loose, light clothing to keep them cool. In cold places, people need to keep warm. They wear thicker clothes made of wool or fur. And you can see some different clothing for different people. Have a look at these pictures with your grown-ups and see if you can decide where these people might live, whether they live in hot countries or cold countries. In some places, the weather changes from season to season, and sometimes even from day to day. Here, people need different kinds of clothes to suit the weather. Getting to work. Weather can make it difficult for people to get to work. When heavy snow blocks roads and railways, it's simply impossible for people to travel. They are stranded at home until the snowplows clear the roads. Fishermen get used to wet and windy weather out at sea, but when the wind is very strong and the sea is rough, they leave their boats in the harbour and stay on shore. Hot, sticky weather makes you sleepy. No one feels like working then. It says, how do you feel about the weather? The weather can affect the way you feel. Most people enjoy warm, sunny weather, but if it's too hot and sticky, you start to feel cross and uncomfortable. A soft spring shower is sweet and refreshing, but no one likes when it rains and rains and rains. Some people love a thunderstorm. They enjoy the flashes of lightning and the deafening thunderclaps, but many people are terrified by the noise and can't wait for it to end. Here's a picture of a thunderstorm. The lightning bolts. Weather forecast. So you might see one of these on the TV during the news. When people need to know what the weather is going to be like, they make sure they hear a forecast. Scientists who forecast the weather use many special instruments. Weather balloons fly high up in the sky, gathering information about the air. Further out in space, weather satellites send back pictures of cloud patterns. They also follow the movement of winds around the Earth. Every day, scientists use this information to make the forecast you hear on the radio and television. And you also find this on your grown-ups' phones. They'll have a special weather app, and you can look at the weather in different places. And that is the end of our non-fiction book. So I'd really like you just to have a chat with your grown-ups about all of the information in there, all your teachers, and you'll have a really, really interesting chat. It'd be really good. Okay, thank you.